So recently, Darryl Cooper was on Tucker Carlson and made an accusation against Whitney Webb. And the accusation isn't new, it's been around since, I think, 2019. This accusation was that Whitney Webb stole her work from Ryan Dawson. Cooper went ahead and made this claim without ever even reading Whitney Webb's book, nor checking her sources. Cooper has already came out and apologized, and for those of you who know Whitney Webb and checked her sources and know her work, then you know by now that this has already been debunked. But recently, Whitney came out to defend herself on Kim Iverson's show, and I want you guys to take a listen to what she said.
So let's talk about the latest scandal that involves you before we get into the scandals that involve Epstein and Trump and Clintons and all, and PayPal Mafia. Maybe we'll get into that. But recently, Tucker Carlson had Darryl Cooper on his show, and Darryl Cooper was talking about Epstein. And during the conversation, he had mentioned that some of the research that had been done for Epstein on the Epstein saga was done by Mike Benz and by Ryan Dawson, saying that Ryan was one of the chief researchers. And he said, Ryan Dawson, one of the chief researchers, people who write books about the nation being under blackmail crib this guy's research. Clearly referring to you.
Yeah.
So, and I've heard this, and I've had Ryan on my show. I like Ryan. I'm friendly with people. And I've heard him say this also. I've heard other people, kind of make the claim that Ryan did all the research and you stole it. I don't believe that, and I'll give you reasons why I don't believe it. But I would like to hear what is your response to this accusation?
So the accusation dates back to 2019. I wrote a series about Epstein for Mint Press News. And at that point, it got a lot of attention, especially after Epstein's death in prison. And around that time, as I understand it, Ryan Dawson's YouTube channel was deleted. So he was unhappy about the lack of exposure. My series on Epstein, which included aspects of the Epstein-Israel relationship, got a lot of attention. And he admitted to some people that tried to intercede between us that I had not plagiarized anything of his at all or taken any of his research, that he was just mad that his YouTube channel had been deleted, which is understandable, but obviously I had nothing to do with that. So, eventually I challenged him on it publicly, and he doubled down, and he's been doubling down since, and has never been able to say what facts or topics even within the Epstein scandal I supposedly took from him, nor has he provided any evidence to that in the better part of, I don't know, I guess like 6 years or so now. And it's an attack on my integrity that's really unfounded. And basically, through back and forths with him and intermediaries, it comes down to basically him saying that he wrote about Epstein before me. And even if I didn't take his research, I should credit him as having written about it before me. But after all the attacks on my character and my work, and the fact that I never used his research, I'm not really, I haven't really been interested in promoting him just based on my personal experience with him. But I have acknowledged that he has covered it before me, but so have a lot of other people like Derek Brose and Nick Bryant, who I have collaborated with in the past and who I consider colleagues. And who find my work original and valuable and don't think that this is true.
Nick Bryant has also done some of the best work on Epstein.
And I absolutely reject it, and 100%. If you read my books, only the second book is really about Epstein. The rest is a ton of research on things that preceded Epstein significantly that, to the best of my knowledge, Ryan has never talked about. And even in discussing Epstein, I'd cite all my sources. My book has thousands and thousands of footnotes. And Darryl Cooper, who made this claim, admitted on Twitter that he has never read my book. So how could he accuse me of cribbing someone's research in a book, accuse my book of being built on someone else's research when he's never even read my book? I mean, it's very unfair. Cooper apologized and claimed that he had third parties reach out to apologize, though I was not contacted by those third parties, at least from what, the means of communication with me through my site. I didn't get anything, but it stinks, because how many people saw that claim on, Tucker Carlson, which is one of the biggest podcasts in the country, versus how many people saw Cooper say that he regretted saying it, that it was impulsive, and that he's never read my book.
But the problem is, once you initially say something like that on a platform as big as Tucker's, the damage is done.
So, it's unfortunate, to say the very least. I've tried to reach out to Ryan over the years, because I think it's really unfair, and I think it's really unfounded. And if you're going to accuse someone of something serious like that, at least put up evidence for your claim, not just I wrote about the scandal first, when lots of other people did too. And, I cover a lot of topics that Ryan has never talked about, and I've done the same quality of deep dive research on those topics, whether it's Palantir or Moderna, or all sorts of other series and investigative reports that I've done over the years. So it should be very clear to people that I absolutely have the ability,
right,
to do the type of research that you can find in my books and on the Epstein scandal, without needing to steal from someone else. And the fact that I can cite my sources and they're not Ryan's sources, I think makes it pretty clear. And also, Ryan's never written a book. He doesn't write, to the best of my knowledge. He's a live streamer, and has made these these maps, I guess, of connections. And a lot of my work on Epstein includes figures that are not in his so-called maps. And also, Ryan has gone around claiming that he has the Epstein client list, which is inaccurate. And he, claims it's from the victim testimony and all this stuff. But it's very different than what I would say are the web of Epstein associates that I talk about. And to the best of my knowledge, the people that believe this claim either don't like me for some other reason, or are big fans of Ryan's and have never engaged with my work at all because of what Ryan has said. And it's frankly defamatory and slanderous. And I would really appreciate that he stopped doing it when it's completely unfounded. And after 6 years, he can't even say what thing within this very broad scandal. It's a very broad research topic that I supposedly took. And, I'm still doing original reporting on aspects of the case that he's never talked about. But I think, if I don't need to be conspiratorial here, but one of the reasons I think this is being so pushed into the public now, after sort of, being discredited and simmering under the radar over past years, is because Ryan has kind of made it a point to absolve Trump in some of this stuff going on right now, whereas I do not. I'm a lot more critical of Trump than Ryan tends to be. And so, as the Trump administration has struggled to manage the narrative around this stuff, I wonder if that might be a reason. But again, I don't really know. I don't really know why Cooper chose to do that. He claims to be a longtime fan of Ryan's, which is fine. And I've never engaged with Ryan's research or even watched his stuff because of this antagonism. And
as far as I'm concerned, this is a bad look for Cooper, due to the fact that he made this claim, admittedly, without even doing any research. Then it's like it causes one to wonder, what other statements have you made without any research?
And it's frankly an attack on my integrity and my work. But I would encourage people to go look at his stuff and decide for yourself, and look at my sources and my Epstein reporting and see if you find any validity to that. And, a lot of people that have done that have not believed this claim. So I'll just leave it there.
Yeah. So you think that Darryl said what he said is because he's a fan of Ryan's? Is he a friend of Ryan's? Do you know?
That's my understanding, that he has followed Ryan for a long time and is clearly, as he said himself, unfamiliar with my work.
Okay.
And that pretty much sums up Whitney's response. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and comment and subscribe to the channel.